Yo, what's popping? What's popping? What's popping? Yeah, yeah, I'm back again. Back again. All right. So you see the title, right? The anti-passport bros are just as bad as the passport bros, or at least some of the members of the passport bros movement, right? Because let me tell you something. You have a lot of people who are looking at this Austin Holloman situation and using that as a trope just to badmouth the aspect of black males in America traveling overseas and possibly opening up their dating options to dating females overseas. And you hear them just by their verbiage and by the things that they say when they just badmouth the aspect of black males in America having relations from females in third world countries, trying to make it seem as if it's a bad thing. You see, the thing is that although what's going on, Shaka Nulu, although, right, although I've have my opinions concerning the Passport Bros movement, or at least some of the content creators within that movement, the thing is my you guys understand my position in which I'm clear that I'm in full support of black males in America or anywhere in the world traveling to other parts of the world. I'm also a supporter of black males in America or any males opening up their dating options to date and marry whichever female that they choose to marry, regardless of where she comes from, what nationality or ethnicity or race she may be, right? But of course, you have some people who are against that, who are against that, and they look for any bad thing or any negative thing uh, uh, um within the passport movement as a trope to disguise that, to try to make it seem as if brothers traveling to other parts of the world is somehow a bad thing. You got these content creators now who is making content trying to convince Austin Holloman to come back to the United States. You even have these, what's up, Mr. Marcus Allen? What's going on? Right? You even have these individuals and shit, right? Who are actually hold on, I was about to say, yeah, you even have these individuals who are actually saying they actually making these review videos, reviewing certain videos of Austin Holloman or other people who travel, and talk about how, well, you could do this over here, you could do this in the United States, you could date this type of female in the United States, you could do this. See, once again, the anti-passport bros are just as bad, if not worse, than some of the members of the passport bros movement. Because what the anti-passport bros want to do is use Austin Holloman's situation to try to discourage black males from traveling to other countries. As if the issue with Austin Holloman is that he traveled outside the United States, not that how he created his content around just females. That's the thing. And ever since I started to speak about this passport bros things, this passport bro topic, I started my conversation by saying members of both sides of the passport argument are full of shit. The anti-passport bros are full of shit, and the pro-passport bros, at least some of them, are full of shit too. They just full of shit. They're just standing on different sides of the turd. They're like Democrats and Republicans. You know, two sides of the same coin. Both full of shit, but speak from different ends of the turd. That's it. That's the same thing with the anti-passport bros and the pro-passport bros. Both motherfuckers are full of shit. You have one group who are basically against black males in America traveling and exploring their options, while at the same time you have another side who claim to be for black males exploring their options yet a lot of times promote um um being a damn pervert and shit like that. They promote debauchery and shit like that. Let me turn my mic up. And this is what you have on all parts of the argument. Oh, that's a good point, Jersey Hammer. Jersey Hammer said, with all the vitriol he received, why the hell, excuse me, why the hell would he come back to the U.S.? I'm assuming that Jersey Hammer is speaking about Austin Holloman. So, and I'm assuming that Jersey Hammer, intended to write the word he within the sentence, but that's a good point, Jersey Hammer. That is a very good point. Although I don't agree with some of the things that some of the members of the Passport Bros are doing, but at the same time, I'm not going to use that as a way to try to discourage so-called black males or anybody from traveling to other countries. But you see, the thing is, you have the anti-passport bros who are actually having their fingers crossed and are wishing and hoping that Austin Holloman's situation, right, or the adversity that he's going through with his situation when he was in Brazil is actually going to mark the end of the end of the Passport Bros movement, or the end of black males online talking about traveling overseas, because you just have a lot of people within the black American community who just want black males to be cannon fodder for black females in America, which is fucked up. That's true, man of tomorrow. That's absolutely true. If everyone just moved in silence, there will be zero problems on both sides. Right. It's a lot of people in so-called black America definitely co-sign to the concept of black males remaining optionless, for lack of a better word. I don't know if optionless is an actual word or not, but if it's not, for lack of a better word, that's what I will use. It's the thing is, the manosphere is actually correct about that. If it's one thing I can agree with the manosphere on, it's that talking point, where you have a lot of people in so-called black America who just don't like the idea of so-called black American males expressing how would they know how to do that? How would they, game changer? What are you talking about? How would they know how to move in silence? You mean that's hard to do? you you're asking that question as if it's difficult for people to do that. I mean, I'm assuming that's what you're asking, game changer. I'm assuming that's what you're asking. How would black males know how to move in silence? But if I'm correct about my interpretation about your question, then you could clear it up, right? But yeah, Tampa Supreme. I think I answered that on a few of my previous videos when I stated that the one of the main content creators who actually started the conversation on this side of YouTube about black American males traveling overseas is Charles Tyler. Charles Tyler, I'll say, is the father or is the progenitor of this passport conversation. Now, don't get it twisted. Of course, black males from America have always been traveling to different parts of the country. I mean, you could read up, historically, ever since the 1800s, where even during the transatlantic slave trade, right, where you had slaves who were also professional athletes, and they were managed by their slave masters, as a lot of black male athletes were horse jockeys. And when they were horse jockeys, they traveled all across the world. And a lot of these horse jockeys, these black male horse jockeys, had made enough money to purchase their freedom and turn around and totally move to another country. So even back then, there were black males who traveled overseas. But what I'm trying to say is that the progenitor of bringing this idea of black males traveling overseas to the internet was Charles Tyler. Rest in peace. He passed away in 2018. Rest in power to him. Yeah, look him up on YouTube. His content's still up on YouTube. But where was I going to? Yeah, okay, going back to the argument where you have a lot of so-called black people in America who just can't stand the fact that black males have options. See, black males in America have always had options. I mean, everybody have had options or have options when it comes to dating. It's just that so-called black males were programmed to believe that their only options when it comes to dating is black American females. They were programmed to believe that. And when brothers like Charles Tyler and other brothers came on the internet, it actually expanded brothers' ways of thinking and made them understand that, no, there's more options out there in regards to dating. And you just have a lot of people within Black America who just do not want black males to adopt that way of thinking, that they have more dating options. And once again, I will 100% agree with the manosphere, especially the black manosphere, when they make that talking point. As much as I disagree with the ridiculous talking points of the manosphere, I can agree with that. The manosphere is on point with that. I have no argument against the manosphere on that talking point. You get what I'm saying? What's going on, the Antisocial Socialite podcast? What's up? Okay, Game Changer asks, how would they know to move at all? Listen, if you're an adult and you don't know how to move in silence, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. When someone asks me that question, right? I'm assuming that's a rhetorical question coming from Game Changer. Once again, that's how I interpret Game Changer's question. And Game Changer, once again, if I'm wrong about interpreting your question as a rhetorical question, you can please correct me. But yeah. But as an adult, if you do not know how to move in silence, right? If you don't know how to move, um, if you don't know how to, if you don't know how to move within the environment and not stick out as a sore thumb, and you're an adult, I don't know what to tell you, dog. I don't know what to tell you. What's up, Lucy? Right, right, right. MOT, but it's also black males who's included in that. Once again, Game Changer. How do they know how to move at all? You talking about people. Okay, once again, if you're an adult and you don't know how to conduct yourself when traveling, when going anywhere out in the public, whether you're traveling outside in your local city or to another city or to another U.S. state or to another country, you don't know how to act with decency. I mean, come on. People have the thing is that people have to me, that's not a hard thing to actually understand when it comes to wherever you go to, you have to move accordingly with decency. Do not stick out like a sore thumb. Do not do things like what some of these passport bros are doing, when they're out there traveling, they're pulling out their cell phone, right? And they claim to make a channel dedicated to traveling, but the overall majority of their content is based on debauchery or revolve around debauchery. Now, is every member of the Passport Bros movement doing that? No, but a good amount of them are doing that, right? And getting enough negative attention and negative publicity on the internet, thus giving a bad image to black males who travel. So when it comes to the stereotype that a lot of people have about the Passport Bros movement, unfortunately, you have some members of that movement who are making that stereotype seem true. You know, the stereotype when people are claiming that the Passport Bros movement are all about sex tourism, they're all about exploiting people from other countries. Some of the content that these people are doing on their channels, when I mean these people, I'm speaking, of course, some of the members of the Passport Bros movement, some of their channels and the type of content that they put up are actually making that stereotype seem true. You know, game changer. I just answered your question. When you go out in public, have some decency, have some class. And not only that, when you go out to these other countries, have enough respect for the cultures of these other countries and not advertise these countries in a way where people are going to think that the only thing these countries have to offer are a bunch of half-naked females. In some cultures, they find that shit to be disrespectful. And the thing, well, going back to the topic, right? As far as the anti-passport bros movement, as far as I say, is that as far as I was saying, excuse me, is that you have a lot of you, and the thing is that I even hear some so-called black females in America even make the argument that black males have to quote unquote be patient with black females as black females are undergo this whatever change that they're going through. So basically what they're saying is that black males should not explore options as far as dating and marrying females from other environments, but what they should do is wait until black females, have this sudden metamorphic change about themselves and their personality. They should wait, and when that time gonna come, we don't know. But nonetheless, black males should just wait, and wait, like a dog sitting down waiting for its master to come home. I remember I had this dog, right? The dog originally belonged to a family member of mine, but he moved out. He couldn't bring the dog with him, so the dog was underneath my care, right? So every time when I would come home from work, there she go, sitting down in front of the front door, with her tail wagging, panting, excited to see me, waiting for me to come home. And this is what a lot of black females who utilize this black men should be patient argument think that black males should do. We should be like that dog sitting in front of the door, waiting for them to get their attitudes right. And once again, when is that change going to come? We don't know. That might take forever. But what I'm trying to say is that with that talking point that a lot of these females believe, they should believe that we should just be eunuchs, and we should just, well, not just be eunuchs, but we should just sit there and put our life and our options on pause and wait for them to get right, which is something. And when it comes to getting right, as far as actually having respect, being cooperative when they're in relationships with males, which is something that should have been built with inside of them once they become an adult. Like these basic qualities that they mama should have teach them, that we should wait until they develop these things at what, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old and put our life on pause? Nah, that's not reality. That is not reality. The reality is this, is that males look for certain qualities in females just as much as females look for certain qualities in males when it comes to who they view as the best qualified to be in relationships with. And if a group of people of the opposite sex within a certain environment do not possess these qualities, people have the right to go to other environments to search for those qualities. And that's the case when it comes to a lot of so-called black males who decide to go to other environments and find other dating options. So for people to sit there and talk bad against that, and talk bad against the idea of males going to other environments, other parts of the world to try to find certain qualities in females to date that they don't find within the environment that they're used to me is fucking insane. Shaka said, hold on. Shaka said the dog was waiting for you to bring food to his table. Yeah. Yeah. That too. But that dog, right? Well, the dog passed away because the dog was already old by the time the dog was underneath my care. So the dog, eventually passed away a few years later. But yeah, that dog always had some food available, right? But the dog loved a lot of attention. The dog, she was one of those animals that required a lot of attention from its master, right? So that's what she was waiting for me to come home and spend my time playing with her and give her the attention that she looks for and stuff like that. Yeah, she was one of those types of dogs, wanted all your attention. I guess that's why my my relative didn't want to move out, or he claimed that he wasn't able to move away with the dog. I don't know, but I believe that he just didn't want the dog anymore. you know? Yeah. Yeah. They want black males to sit and wait, wagging our tails and pantsing, waiting for them waiting for black females to actually get basic qualities in order. Something that is very basic, such as, once again, having respect, once again, having a bit of freaking class, like these basic things that you should have already developed by the time you're in your 20s. Once a person becomes an adult, there's certain qualities just as an individual that you should already have established. Having a certain moral fiber about you, having a certain um, having integrity, having dignity, having pride. When I mean pride, I'm not speaking about pride as in arrogance, but having a level of pride where you're not going to reduce yourself to doing certain things that is beneath you. Once again, I'm not speaking about arrogance. I'm speaking about not once again, not reducing yourself to a certain level of immaturity, something like that. or maturity. Excuse me, not reducing yourself to a certain level of immaturity. I'm sorry. And also another quality, having maturity. Like these things are qualities that you should have already established once you're an adult. Once you're in your 20s, you should have already have these things established. So you mean to tell me you have these 30, 40, and 50-year-old so-called black females that's telling adult black males to wait for black females to develop these basic qualities about themselves that would make them at least a little bit more successful in relationships? Nah. So-called black males have the right to go out to other environments and find females who possess these basic qualities already without them having to wait and sit and wait like a dog, panting, wagging their tail, sitting behind the front door waiting for that person to get right. Nah. You funny. He said not be 5 feet, 200 pounds. Well, Iron Retire, you gotta wait, brother. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient, brother. You gotta wait. Yo, because I remember when I was on another person's panel, Mace Taggart, shout outs to him. I was on his panel a couple of months ago, and we was on the panel talking about sports. For those of you who are aware of Mace Taggart's panels or his channel, it's mostly based on sports, right? So we was on the panel, we was talking about basketball and football and all that stuff, right? And all of a sudden, a so-called black female came on the panel. Now, and when she came on the panel, she totally derailed the conversation, and she started talking about this relationship shit, right? And then she even said it out of her mouth. She said that, a lot of you black men, you have to be patient when it comes to a lot of black women, because a lot of black women are just starting to find themselves. So you're just gonna have to be patient until they fully heal. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck? In the back of my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? And then she tried to, and then she wanted to start this panel where her black female friends could speak to us and we could have this, I guess, gender conversation, right? So my man Mace Taggart, he asked me, he was like, Wacky, are you down? I said, hell no. Well, no, I didn't say hell no. I said no. I politely said no. And I gave my reasons. I said that I don't know exactly I forgot exactly what I said verbatim, but I said something. I'm just paraphrasing what I said. I said that at this point in time, once again, I'm only paraphrasing what I said. I said at this point in time, if females do not have certain qualities in order, there's nothing that I can say that I can make that happen. Therefore, I view this this potential conversation to be a waste of my time. I'm not having that. I'm not sitting there, I'm not sitting there gonna go on a panel and speak to a bunch of old so-called black females about certain qualities that they should have already developed that they mama should have taught them. I'm not doing that shit. But once again, it's this concept that both black females and black males have in America, right? That for somehow males have to wait for them to somehow clean their act up so they could now be qualified to date and marry. And males are supposed to just eliminate any other potential options that they have, in which, once again, like I said before, that's not reality. That's not reality, man. Yeah, wait forever. Exactly. Wait forever. Game Changer said they develop into good mothers after they can no longer be one. Yeah. That's exactly true. As they always do. Right. Right, right. I'm good. Bye. Lucy laughing. Right, right. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that whenever going back to my whole point is that when you see a lot of people on YouTube critique the passport bros, they don't critique the passport bros in a position where they support black males traveling, but they don't support how the passport bros conduct themselves or how they present their message. A lot of them will critique the passport bros by they'll critique the passport bros by talking bad or throwing dirt at the concept of black males traveling overseas and finding other dating options. A lot of them speak from that position. And then they try to use Austin Holloman's situation as a way to convince black males in America to say, you see why you shouldn't travel to Brazil? You see? Because they'll try to kill you. You see why you shouldn't travel to Colombia? Because you see, they'll try to kill you. You see why you shouldn't travel to this country? You see why you shouldn't get with these so quote unquote dirty foot chicks? You see? You see? They're just trying to use Austin Holloman's situation as a trope to hide behind in order to condemn the aspect of black males dating females overseas. And when you see a lot of people who stand in that position, right, it's always either unattractive black females over the age of 35 and so-called black males that don't have shit going on for themselves. Because attractive females, for the most part, right? Attractive females don't give a fuck about males traveling to other countries. Attractive females don't give a fuck about it. For the most part, I'm not saying all attractive females, but for the most part, attractive females on the internet, they're either in support of black males traveling overseas or they're indifferent towards it. They stand indifferent towards it to the point of the fact that they don't even waste their time talking about it because they don't care. Because attractive females understand that no matter how many males travel overseas, they'll still have a line of dicks waiting for them. But the unattractive females, the one that looked like they could be an offensive lineman for the New York Giants, and probably would have helped the New York Giants beat the Eagles last night. For the most part, they're the ones complaining. And also unproductive males who have absolutely nothing going on for themselves, who really are low key at jealous at other males who can afford to travel. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. That's really what it is for the most part. So it's so a lot of the anti-passport bros, a lot of people that make these anti-passport bro content, a lot of these motherfuckers are, they're basically the shit underneath somebody's shoe. That's who they are. The shit underneath somebody's shoe. And now, is that all of them? No. But a large portion of them fits that description. They're just bottom of the barrel individuals that have absolutely nothing going on for themselves. Nothing productive, nothing positive going on for themselves. They probably filled with tons of mental illnesses, a lot of psychological issues. And they want the next black man to be just as fucked up as them, thus will try to encourage them from exploring other options. They're trying to discourage them from doing something as productive as travel. See, anybody that has an issue with another person exploring options when it comes to dating is an automatic loser in my fucking book. If you are a male and you have an issue with females exploring their dating options, females that you don't know, females that you're not with, right? Who they're not with you, you're not dating them, you don't know them, but you still have a problem with them exploring their different dating options, you're a fucking loser. And likewise, if you're a female and you have an issue with males that you do not know, males that you're not dating, that you're not in any type of long-term commitment with, exploring other dating options, you're a loser. And if you're a male and have an issue with other males exploring their dating options, you're a loser and you're probably a member of the LGBT community. And the same goes for females that have a issue with other females exploring their dating options. Why the fuck are you worried about people that you don't know exploring their dating options? Because you know why? Because at the end of the day, it just reminds you how 9 times out of 10, you just don't cut the mustard. You know, when people explore their dating options, you'll realize how 9 times out of 10 that what they're attracted to are people that you do not fit the description of. Thus, it makes you feel less attractive. And the thing is that goes back to insecurity. Because it makes you feel less attractive because a lot of you people are online looking for validation from people of the opposite sex to make you feel good. And when you don't see that validation, you have an issue with that. And that's another thing when it comes to a lot of these unattractive ass bitches who got an issue with so-called black males or males in general traveling to other parts of the country and exploring their dating options. What they're really upset about is that these American males are not giving they 800-pound ass fucking validation. That's the motherfucker. That's really what it is. Because a lot of motherfuckers are insecure as hell. Right, Shaka Nulu. Right, Shaka. Right. Stay with the dirty foots here. Stay with the dirty foots here. And the thing is that why do we have a lot of males and females convincing these males to stay with females over here after they have made their choice not to do that? To me, I find that to be very disrespectful because I look at that as people talking down to grown men as if they're little boys, trying to dictate what options they should choose. Nah, these motherfuckers are grown as hell. They could choose whichever option they want. The fuck? Shit. You know, you could do this over here. You could be with females over here. Who are you to try to dictate that to another person? You know, these that's why I say a lot of these anti-passport bros are just as toxic as some of the members of the passport bros movement. They're just as toxic, if not worse, because one thing that I can respect about the passport bros movement, even though I have my qualms against that movement, but what I can respect is that they promote black males traveling to other parts of the world and exploring different environments, even though they spend too much time just talking about the piece of pussy that someone can have, in other countries, which is, you guys who watch my prior videos know my position on that, right? But at least they support the aspect of black males and males in general, or people in general, traveling to other parts of the world, because that's very productive. But the anti-passport bros, right? A lot of them do not promote the aspect of males in America traveling to other parts of the world and seeing other parts of the world. They expect males to just limit their life, limit their level of productivity, and stay in one environment. See, that is an example of this crabs in the barrel mentality that a lot of people have. Because only someone with the crabs in the barrel mentality would have an issue with another individual doing productive things, such as traveling the world. So the anti-passport bros, fuck them too, because they ain't shit. Just like the passport bros, at least some of them. So that's all I have to say concerning that, you know. And if anybody is offended by this video, you can call somebody that gives a fuck, because I don't. All right, I'm out of here, man.